my dear students. Today we're going to have another class so that you can practice your English skills. I mean, speaking skills, writing skills, listening comprehension skills, and their combinations. Well, some students, actually not students, some newcomers, somebody who has just shown up on my horizon, often ask me the question, how can we practice our speaking skills with you? And can we actually do that? The answer is plain and easy. You can. Anybody can do that. In practical terms, it means that you can write me a message asking me for the opportunity to practice your speaking skills. So we arrange the date, we arrange the time, and the arranged time we meet in the internet through the Zoom application in order to start the speaking session. That's all you should do. That's all you've got to do, actually. Okay, I hope that I've made myself clear. Now, let's get down to the class, and I have prepared another set of assignments for you so that you practice them. Usually, these are the assignments my students and my international students do when they learn English. Well, just I want to brief you on what I'm going to do. By the way, brief somebody on something that's a very good example of phrasal verbs. I just want to make the note that the use of phrasal verbs is a very important thing if you want to start speaking fluently and effectively as native speakers do. I still remember one moment in my professional life. I'm sitting in a company of native speakers. One of them comes from New Zealand, the other one comes from Australia, and they discuss something. Well, and I'm supposed to not only to understand what they're talking about, but also to take part in the conversation, putting forward my ideas. I don't know what they, how to say, they put in a lot of phrasal verbs, and not the ones we normally learn, but some, I would say, unusual maybe, which are usual for them, for native speakers. And in order to minimize the how to say, the distance between us in vocabulary terms, we should learn of phrasal verbs as much as we can. I mean, as many phrasal verbs as we can. By the way, I've just used another phrasal verb, learn of. You might have, sorry, you might have heard the expression "learn by heart." It's a very nice expression, but in everyday life, so um, native speakers would use "learn of" instead of "learn something by heart." Okay, now I'm gonna brief you on what I'm gonna do in today's class. First of all, listening. Um, you may ask me why I pay so much attention to the listening comprehension matter. I will tell you, I will answer this question. The thing is that I have come across a lot of guys who can speak English perfectly well. They can use a variety of different super duper grammatical constructions, and they, by speaking this way, they make others believe that they are absolute think tanks in speaking terms, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's true. But when it comes to their understanding native speakers' speech patterns, they pass because they aren't accustomed to dealing with real English, American or British, you name it, speech patterns. All they can do, maximum they can do, is just to catch the main idea, missing the details. To avoid such situations, you should develop your listening skills comprehension as well. I mean, listening comprehension skills, I'm sorry. That's for sure. And I just want to look back at my my past when I was making my first steps as an English speaker. Well, it was very, I would say, it was very hard for me to understand what the native speakers were talking about around me. Yes, all of, okay, not all of them, but many of them underlined that my speaking was, as they said, superb. But when it came to understanding what they were talking about, so it was very hard for me to pick it up. That's why, on the basis of my own bitter experience means not very good experience, not uh, sweet experience, right? So on the basis of my bitter experience, my own bitter experience, I want to say that unless you practice your listening skills, you will never ever become an effective speaker. That's for sure. Because besides being able to express your ideas, express your thoughts, put forward your thoughts, you should also be able to understand what your companions are talking about, what they want to tell you. Okay. So the very first assignment, I want to say that the first assignment is the one which I offer at examinations for my elementary students. You should know that my English students, I mean students who learn English under my supervision, um, usually take examinations. The examination consists of several modules. The first module is listening. By doing listening, they are supposed to take up 55% in order to be entitled to move on to the next module, which is reading comprehension. In the listening, they are supposed to do different types of assignments, and I have selected some for your consideration. I do believe that doing these activities will help you to develop your listening skills. That's for sure. Well, in this particular assignment, you will hear a few um, extracts which together make up a text. Well, each paragraph, you know that each paragraph expresses an idea or a set of ideas, mostly one, but sometimes it can be even two or even three. Well, and when I finished reading a paragraph, I will ask you to choose the right title. And there will be three titles possible to choose from. I will say, so title A, title B, title C, and you'll have to select the right one, okay? For each of the paragraphs you will hear. So this is an assignment. This is the type of assignment I usually offer for my students, who learn English under my supervision. The title of the text is Elephants. So get ready, please. Again, briefly, I want to explain to you the type of the assignment, what I'm supposed to do. You listen carefully to a paragraph. While listening to the paragraph, you make up the main idea of the paragraph, and on the basis of your consideration, you pick up the right title which matches the paragraph. Okay. So let's start then. Let's get started then. Paragraph 1. Elephants are the largest land animals in the world. Whales are the largest sea animals. These two huge animals may in fact be related. Biologists now believe that the ancestors of elephants once lived in the sea. There is plenty of evidence to support this idea. For example, the shape of an elephant's head is similar to a whale's. Also, elephants are excellent swimmers. Some have chosen to swim for food to islands up to 300 miles from shore. Like the whale, the elephant too uses sounds to show anger or for other kinds of communication. Finally, in certain ways, female elephants behave much like female whales. When an elephant or a whale baby is born, a female friend stays nearby to help the mother. This is the end of the first paragraph. And now you're supposed to pick up the right title, which matches the paragraph. Title A, How elephants are good swimmers. Title B. The largest animals in the world. Title C. How elephants and whales are alike. Now, paragraph 2. The elephant's trunk isn't just a large nose or upper lip. It's an essential and unique feature that serves many purposes for this animal. For one, it is used to make many kinds of sounds. With its trunk, the elephant can communicate anger, fear, or happiness. The trunk is also used as if it were a kind of hand. At the end of the trunk are two muscles shaped like fingers. These muscles can pick up food and water and carry them to the elephant's mouth. Elephants use the trunks to take dust baths, throwing the dust over their backs. If an elephant's trunk is seriously injured, the elephant may die. Without its trunk, it has great difficulty getting enough to eat. This is the end of the second paragraph. Now you're supposed to choose the right title for this paragraph. Title A. The elephant's trunk. Title B. The elephant's body. Title C. The elephant's dust baths. Paragraph 3. The intelligence of the elephant is widely known. We say, the elephant never forgets, in honor of its excellent memory. Elephants are also surprisingly good at solving problems. An Indian farmer who kept elephants discovered this fact to his misfortune. He had noticed that his elephants were eating his bananas at night. No fence could keep out the elephants, of course, so he decided to tie bells on them. Then he would hear them when they came to eat the bananas, and he could chase them away. A few mornings later, however, the bananas were all gone, though he had heard nothing at night. When he checked the elephants, he found that they had played a trick on him. They had filled their bells with mud so they wouldn't make any noise. This is the end of the third paragraph about elephants. Now you're supposed to choose the right title for this paragraph. Title A. Facts about elephants. Title B. How elephants get bananas. Title C. The intelligence of elephant. I just wanted to understand that the main type of snare or trap set by examiners in such type of assignments is that they may offer some options which have been mentioned in a paragraph. And seeing them, you can think to yourselves, oh, I heard that, or I have read about that. And so this is likely to be the right option. Oh, don't jump to conclusions, guys. Don't. You'd better not. Because it can be only partially important. But the main idea is different. Well, what has been mentioned isn't necessarily to be the main idea of a paragraph. Okay, thank you. So we just through with the first text about elephants, and now we're proceeding to another one. This time it's about the construction of houses. And it's got two paragraphs. Well, get prepared, please. So let's get started. The construction of houses. People usually build their houses out of the materials that are easily available to them. In some areas, for example, most people build their homes out of wood. This is true in parts of North America and in Scandinavia. These areas have large forests, so wood is easy to get and inexpensive. In many other areas of Europe, there are few forests left. Stone and brick are cheaper, so most people build their houses of these materials. In tropical regions, houses are sometimes made from plants that grow there. For example, in parts of Africa or Asia, houses may be made out of bamboo. Finally, in the very coldest areas near the Arctic, people make their homes out of blocks of ice. This is the end of paragraph 1. Now you're supposed to choose the right title for it. Title A, Materials Used for Houses. Title B, The Wooden Houses of Scandinavia. Title C, Houses Around the World. Now we're proceeding to the second paragraph. Houses in hot countries have many features that are different from houses in cold countries. Houses in hot countries usually have thick walls and small windows to keep out the heat. In cold climates and darker regions, however, people don't have to worry about too much sun and heat. The houses therefore have larger windows to let in the sunlight. Another difference is that houses in hot climates usually have an outdoor living area, a terrace, a courtyard, or porch. In colder climates, of course, people spend less time outdoors, so houses often don't have such areas. Now we proceed into the option of the correct title to this part of the text. Title A, The Architecture of Houses. Title B, Houses in Hot and Cold Countries. Title C, Houses with Small Windows. Okay, thank you very much. So I hope that you have taken a liking to this type of assignment. You see, even without any visual support, by this I mean to say that you don't see the text, but you can only hear it. On the basis of this information input, you can do a lot of right things. For example, choosing the right title for either the whole text or a part of it, a paragraph. You can do that. And I wanted to practice your listening comprehension skills in order to be able to do even more than that. Okay, okay. Now, we're gonna do another type of listening comprehension assignment. Well, this time you will have to fill in the blanks while listening to another text. The text is about the maple or maple trees. You know, a student of mine from Iran told me that in his country, this type of trees is called as zarang. Yes, or something like this, zarang something. Yeah, okay. Perhaps people residing in other Asian countries have a similar word meaning this type of trees. Actually, maple trees are very, very beautiful, especially in autumn, or in America, they call it fall. Yeah. Yes, I have seen a lot of people, and they are surprised when they heard a native speaker residing in either Canada or the USA saying fall instead of autumn. Okay, it's up to you which word to choose. Okay, so again, maple trees, and let me show you the assignment. Okay, yeah, here it is. Hold on a second, please. Yes, here it is. Yes, unfortunately, I had to zoom in the text in order to keep it within screen of my computer. So, but I will try to read out the lines so that you can make out what they say. In Vermont, local farmers grow maple trees so that when it gets warm in the spring, they collect something for syrup. The best condition for growing maples is blah blah blah, because in this case a maple tree has many something and big tips. Usually sap is collected by maybe somebody. During the season, on average, blah 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 is obtained from a tree. I guess we can guess that in the fifth question we are supposed to listen for a number. Yeah, because um, so I can easily see that we can infer that the question means a volume of the stuff. So to produce 1 gallon of syrup, a gallon, yeah, European residents and people residing in Asia might have heard this word, but they don't have any idea how much it is in the European system. So 1 gallon is roughly 3.7 liters. To produce 1 gallon of syrup and blah, blah, liters of sap is required. Again, it's clear that in the sixth question, we also should listen for a number. One should notice that it was blah, blah, blah who taught the early settlers about the tree's secrets. So we should listen for somebody or for a group of people who taught blah, blah, blah. Okay. Having been collected, the sap is transported to it's a kind of place, okay, where it is evaporated to get rid of, to say goodbye to something. So we understand that we talk about a liquid. If it's syrup, right? It's a liquid, and we should minimize something in the liquid, and you should understand what component should be minimized in the liquid. Despite the seeming easiness of the syrup production, it's not like this at all, as firstly, the right something should be known. I guess this is something about the secrets of the recipe. And secondly, the right something else is another clue factor. So these two types of there are two types of syrup, grade A and grade B. The former has some kind of flavor and something about the color, whereas the latter is darker with some kind of taste. Okay, so this is the assignment. It's a very good assignment, believe me. And now I want you to start listening to it. So I strongly recommend that you copy it down in your notebooks or maybe in your computers or whatever you have at hand, because I'm going to read out the text on which this assignment is based. Okay, I will give you some time. You can do that right now. Well, remember that when you're doing such type of assignments, you shouldn't look up anywhere. You should look down at the questions and concentrate as much as you can, not to miss any bit of information. Any bit of information matters, believe me. Even though in vocabulary terms, this assignment may not pose any problem uh, to somebody who's doing the test. However, you may lose the track of time maybe, or you may lose the track of the text, and in this case, you're very likely to make a mistake. Don't do that. Look down, concentrating on the assignment, okay? Hold a second, please. Again, while I was saying so much about the type of what you should do and what you shouldn't do, you had enough time to copy down this assignment, okay? Now, get ready, please. When I say three, we will get started. It's very difficult to speak a language which isn't your native, no matter or regardless how well you can do that, how well you can speak it. The longer you speak a foreign language, the more likely you are the more likely you make a mistake. Right. You can't control everything. Oh gosh. Okay. One, two, three. In Vermont in the spring, the days were beneath the climbing sun, and farmers tapped their maple trees. Maple trees grow slowly. It takes 40 years before they are large enough to produce the sap for the syrup. The best trees grow in the open, with many branches and big tips. Most of the sap in Vermont maple trees is collected by manual labor. The average yield from a tree is about 40 liters per season. For every gallon of syrup, it requires 162 liters of sap. The Indians taught the early settlers the secrets of the maple tree. To the Vermont farmer, the money from the sap goes far in supplementing his income. Farmers bring the sap to a central point called the sugaring house. Sap is then converted to maple sugar by boiling away the excess water. In early times, this was done by the farmer himself in a large vat on his own farm. Then, central wood-fired evaporators called sugaring houses proved a better way. The key to good syrup is the experience of the sugar maker. It takes the right amount of heat at just the right time in the boiling process to get the very best maple flavor. All syrup is graded for quality in the finishing process. Grade A syrup has a delicate flavor and is light in color. Grade B is darker, with a stronger taste and is used as flavoring for commercial table syrups. The sugar and snow party is part of the traditional boiling down. Hot maple syrup is poured on pats of snow, where it quickly turns into tasty glop, the first taste of next year's batch of maple syrup. Okay, thank you. So we just through with this assignment, and I hope that you have managed to write down the right answers. So feel free to write down your answers to make sure that they are correct. If they aren't correct, so I will give you a hint, okay? Or you can listen to this assignment again. Yeah, of course, the best option is that you listen to this only once, as it's required in most of English languages examinations, such as TOEFL, IELTS, you name it. However, so why not? It's general English assignment. It is a general English assignment. For that reason, you can listen to, let's say, a few times. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. And now we are ready to proceed to another assignment. Well, it deals with writing. Recently, I have talked to a friend of mine. Actually, I have already told you about that friend of mine. Her name is Alvina, and she comes from one oriental country, and she is a colleague of mine. She's a super duper teacher. But while we were talking, she told me that now and then she experiences problems. She comes up against a problem. How to write a very effective, essay. Well, first I want to say I want to make the point that it depends on manufacturers, and the first factor which determines whether someone's written essay is good or not is determined not by some standards, writing standards. Oh, no, 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 no. Unfortunately, it's the thing which depends on another person's um, standards, maybe, or likes and dislikes. What I want to say is that somebody may like a particular way of writing. They like extended and I would say super duper writing saturated with heavy constructions, with longer extended sentences. Whereas others believe that no, the shorter the better. And these two extremes um, are extremes. And usually, as usual, the golden medium is somewhere between the two extremes. Um, I want to say that it is you who is the main judge of your writing. If you do like what you have written, so it means that actually it's a good piece of work. If somewhere deep inside you find it not very good, not appealing to your heart, that means that it's not a good job. This is, I guess, the only criterion which determines whether your work is good or not. I mean, written work. Yeah. And I'm saying that on the basis of my own, uh, indeed big teaching experience. Long time ago, when I started to instruct others um, who were going to take art examinations, I used to pay much attention to the structure of an essay, um, the different types of essays, and I thought I was sure that the type, I'm sorry, the type of an essay determined the structure of the work. Oh, I was so naive, so naive. But many colleagues of mine who operate these days, instructing others, haven't gone through this. They haven't understood this thing, and this is something they're supposed to reach. Um, but I'm not sure that they will have it. You know why? Because most of them are fake instructors. Because in my uh, not humble opinion, an authentic instructor is the one who enjoys teaching, who likes doing that, despite many drawbacks of the profession. And those who teach just in order to make a fast buck. It's an American expression, which means to make easy and fast money, to make a fast buck. So these guys can't teach anything good. And unfortunately, traveling traveling around such countries as the Ukraine, the Russian Federation, Uzbekistan, and some others, I have come across a lot of fake English language instructors with heavy accents, even without any accent, but they don't love their profession. They work performing the duties for the time being, not only because now it's giving them an opportunity to make money. So that's the sordid reality. Okay, let's come back to our sheep. Well, I just want to show you an assignment which I gave to a student of mine. It's a very, very beautiful girl. Believe me, I have seen her many times. Well, she is not only beautiful, but she is very talented. But unfortunately, she is, how to say, very politely, she's as lazy as she is beautiful. Unfortunately, yeah, but her brain works perfectly well. I like it. So, and risk five, risk I asked you to write a macro essay. You remember that the first step to start writing perfectly is to start writing micro essays. I just want to say that she's at her elementary level. And I asked her to write a macro essay, answer the question why you don't like to visit Europe, why you don't like visiting Europe. Well, and as usual, I will show you two options to choose from. Not to choose from, just so that you see the difference. Uh, a bad version and my student's version, okay? Which isn't free of mistakes, which isn't brilliant maybe, but I want you to see that at elementary level, she can write effectively. Again, effective writing isn't the same as ideal writing. I just wanted to understand this. Okay, hold a second, please. Hold on a sec. Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure that you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, great. Um, so again, the question is, why you dislike visiting Europe? Let me just sip some tea, okay? Oh. So, um, okay. Yeah, I should think of something, right? Mhm. Hold a sec. Well, indeed. Indeed, I dislike visiting Europe, uh, but I have such an opportunity. Again, I will make some mistakes on purpose, okay? Um, Maybe stylistical mistakes, maybe grammatical ones. So just I want to don't take everything for granted, okay? Even though it's me who's writing the lines, it doesn't necessarily mean that I will make it free of mistakes. Not necessarily. Who knows? Maybe I'm writing with a mistake. So you should double check it. Okay. Well, indeed, I dislike visiting Europe, but I have such an opportunity. Um, Now I want to explain to you. Remember that after explaining, we're supposed to use the preposition to. Now I want to explain to you why I don't um, go there. Firstly, it is very expensive these days. First, it is very expensive these days to get there because the prices, I better say, yeah, the prices of air tickets. Oh, I'm sorry, of air tickets have gone up very much. Okay. Um, and I don't earn a lot to, okay. to have, or okay, to have the opportunity, to have the opportunity. Somebody may say that I could go there by train, but by train, and it would be. She knows the wood construction. That's why I'm using it now, and it would be much cheaper. But the problem is that I live in where? In Argentina. In Argentina, and the ocean doesn't allow me to choose the train option. Okay. Secondly, oh, I need some tea. Secondly, mm, I am afraid of the people whom I don't know well. Sorry. Well, while I travel to any place, including Europe, okay, I can meet such people who can be the wrong type for me, such as okay, who? Okay, killers. Who else? Prostitutes. Um, thieves, etc. And I'm not sure that I will not be another victim of theirs. She knows the absolute possessive pronouns such as mine, hers, ours, theirs. That's why I have included this into the writing. Finally, I hate homosexual guys when I see one, I'm ready to kill him. Oh my God. Okay, these are not my ideas. These are not my thoughts. I'm just thinking about a story, okay? Not a story, but a typical low-level writing. So finally, I hate homosexual guys. When I see one, I'm ready to kill him. And I have heard that there are many of them living in Europe. That is why I wouldn't like to visit that place. Okay, this is a macro essay covering or answering the question why you dislike visiting Europe. It's a bit primitive, and I hope that you can see that it is primitive, though I haven't made a lot of mistakes. There are some mistakes, and you can you can point to the mistakes in your comments. It's okay. Well, and you can consider it as an extra assignment. Usually, I ask my students to detect a mistake made. Well, but in this case, the number of mistakes isn't that great. Again, there are some, but not many. But why did I say that it's kind of primitive? It's because of the sentence structure. Secondly, I don't develop the logical continuation which is behind any of the sentences which make up the writing. Also, the how to say the word combination. I mean, the vocabulary. The vocabulary of this writing isn't brilliant, isn't bright. It's rather low. Well, let's try to modify this writing to make it more effective, maybe. Let's try to do that. But before we start doing that, I just want to draw attention to the constructions which my elementary students use in their writings. First of all, visiting, it's a gerund. My elementary students know what a gerund is and how to use it more or less correctly. They seldom misuse the articles. Infinitives. Okay, then they remember that leading phrases are usually separated from the rest of the sentence with commas. Firstly, comma. Again, infinitive. It's something to do something. Okay. Then they know how to use the present perfect tense correctly. Okay. Then may. They know already that the verb may can express the probability idea. So when they are unsure and the probability is 50-50, in this case, they use the verb may, and they know that. For example, oh, she may come tonight. That means that the probability that somebody comes to some place this evening is 50-50. Okay, and so we use, our native speakers also use the verb may. Oh, he may come tonight. Or, for example, you can say, oh, you may, okay, you may pass the exam with flying colors, even though you haven't read a lot of lecture, you haven't read books. Okay, also the modal verb could, it's another standard part of elementary level program. Also, they use the verb would. They understand that when we're unsure about something, we can use would. I wouldn't say that it's one of their favorite expressions. Okay. Cheaper, they know how to compare things and they use comparative degrees. Okay. Again, infinitive. Allowed to do what? Oh. Okay. Any, they know that the word any is tricky. And for example, they also use it instead of the word all places, they can say any place. For example, you can choose any book. That means you can choose any book you like, including they use the possible one construction. For example, people living in this country are very hospitable. people, instead of saying people who live in the country, my elementary students say people living in the country or people residing in the country are some kind of, again, okay, can, okay, they know how to use the construction such as, okay, again, the present perfect tense, the construction there is the ra, again, the possible one construction, doing what, living, uh, I would like to do something, I wouldn't like to do something. So these are the constructions they're supposed to handle effectively. Now, still, we feel that there is something we can work on in order to make it better. Let's try to do that. Okay, for example, you're right saying that, I'm sorry, saying that I'm not, okay, into traveling around Europe. Though I have such an opportunity. At this point, at this point, I would like to make to make myself clear what is behind my negative attitude towards that region or that area. Okay. You see, the main idea of this sentence is identical to this one expressed in this line. However, and you know all these words which are in this sentence, contained in the sentence. Let's see the difference. Okay, first let's very expensive these days to get there because the price of, okay, first of all, I would like to, sorry, I would like to underline that lately, the average air ticket price has okay, gone up considerably. Again, it is elementary level. Elementary doesn't mean easy. Elementary means a good level. Okay. First of all, I would like to underline that lately the average air ticket price has gone up considerably. And because of this reason, I can't afford to cover large distances as a tourist by plane. Okay. I'm pretty sure that somebody may, I'm not sure, that's why I'm saying it's 50-50. Somebody can say, somebody cannot say, I'm not sure, that's why I'm using the mode verb may. Somebody may contradict contradict to my words saying that I could choose the train to get uh, there. But the problem is that my home is in South America, which, please, which excludes, is the opposite to the word includes, right? Which excludes such an opportunity. Okay. Secondly, I'm not that type. I'm sorry. I'm not that type of person who can easily make friends. I'm sorry, friends with strangers, because I suspect, so that means I believe, that I suspect that they, again, may do something wrong to me. Something wrong to me. Okay. And I wouldn't like to become another victim of theirs. Okay. Okay. I just want to say again that if it were a pre-intermediate or intermediate level, so the writing would be slightly different, even better. I'm just trying to simplify simultaneously with keeping to the ideas given in the first version. So finally, I should admit, or better say, I should confess, mea culpa, right? As the Latin Christians say, mea culpa. Okay, I should confess that, by the way, if you know what this expression means, so it's great. Mea culpa. Okay. Finally, you should confess that, I'm sorry, I should confess that I can't stand, sorry, I can't stand those who belong to LGBT society. And moreover, instead of and moreover, I've heard that represent the number of that group representatives is great in Europe, and therefore, sorry, if I went there, I wouldn't feel All right. Oh, I'm sorry. That groups, I guess. Groups. Yeah. Um, all in all, one second, please. All in all, because of these reasons, notes really certificate. All in all, mm, because of those reasons, I don't consider Europe, particularly its western part, uh, as its western part as my favorite, my favorite touristic destination. That's it. You see, on the basis of the first version, I corrected something, I modified something, and if you compared the second one with the first one, you can easily see the difference between the two versions. It's not easy to do, somebody may say, and that person will be right saying that. However, unless you do anything, um, you'll never make great progress. Or as a Brit say, you will never make headway. Okay, okay. And now I would like to offer for your consideration my student's writing, um, in which she answers the same question. Hold on a sec, please. Hold on a sec. It's an extract from her work. Here it is. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah. I guess that you need some extra time to understand, uh, to make out what's written. You can do it without me. Okay. Thank you very much. You can write your answers again to the listening assignment exercises. I'm sorry, to the listening assignments. You also can write your versions, answering the same question why you don't like to visit Europe. You can you can think of other reasons. It's up to you. So send your words and answers in your comments, and I will comment them. Believe me. Thank you very much.